Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here. It's another week in Michigan beer news, so let's get on it. Leading off this week's news, it's a little bit more of a national news story for beer. Remember a couple weeks back when I talked about how Michigan craft beer was seeing a bit of a resurgence sales-wise? Well, business can be like gravity sometimes. What goes up must come down at some point. On the other side of the coin, the National Beer Wholesalers Association has released what they call the Beer Purchasers Index for September 2022. This is a monthly index that surveys beer distributors' purchases and compares them to the previous year's purchases. They're stating across the board from craft beer, premium, and even below premium beer, and that's an actual category, I didn't make it up. Seltzers and ciders, all of those are seeing year-over-year drops. Take craft beer, for example. They say that any number over 50 indicates the market is expanding. Anything under 50 means it's contracting. Craft beer was at 26. 26. If 50 is the baseline, 26 sounds pretty scary to me. 2021 was at 44. Both were under 50. Both 2021 and 22 are under 50, but of all the segments they measure, craft beer has been hit the hardest. Of course, this is just a voluntary survey to distributors. They give up the information voluntarily. They give their info, but the wholesalers group does cite inflationary pressures and a slowing economy contributing to a fourth month of pause, meaning for the last 4 months it's been slowing down after the first 5 months of the year were showing really steady positive trends. This is just a wholesalers group. Craft beer isn't going to be folding up the tent and calling it a day anytime soon, but it does show how much of an impact the economy has on the industry and how inventory can help track that. In more baddish news, it's definitely not good news, but I've been seeing more and more articles about the carbon dioxide shortages that I mentioned a few weeks ago. You can find links to them probably up in the corner. I've been seeing different posts from different breweries, including Old Nation, Williamston, and now other breweries are talking about how much it's hurting them. And it's not just the big guys or even the medium guys. For example, Final Gravity Brewing out in Decatur and Kalamazoo is saying if they don't get a shipment of CO2 next week, they won't be able to serve or carbonate any of their beer. That's a big deal. If that doesn't drive the point home, I don't know what does of this shortage in Jackson, Dome, Mississippi, I guess. I know it's not something I would have really associated with craft beer before. I don't think about, where CO2 comes from. It can't be contaminated. I don't think about that at all, but it clearly has an impact. Like I say all the time, right now is even a more important time to support your local breweries. So we're going to move on to the new releases, maybe move on to a little bit of better news. This week, we're looking at a brand new announcement from Old Nation Brewing in Williamston. As of the time of this recording, this announcement is just hours old. Low Orbit, they've announced Low Orbit. It's a lower ABV New England style IPA from the masters of the Michigan New England style IPA, Old Nation. I'm quoting Old Nation directly here when I say they're using, quote, state-of-the-art yeast, timelessly perfected grain, hops from the Pacific Northwest, and traditional brewing techniques. They also say that the result is a full flavor, full-bodied New England-style IPA at only 4.5%, and it'll be available on local retailer shelves starting on October 17th. You'll probably see it after that. I've heard a lot of claims of full-flavored, full-bodied, low ABV New England-style IPAs in the past, and this channel's a testament. I've probably tried a lot of them at this point. Hopefully Low Orbit can live up to the standards that Old Nation has set already. I have confidence in what they're doing, what they're trying to do, so we'll have to just wait for a few more days and then we'll see. You won't see the review on this channel, maybe in a few months, but not in the near future. On to the new Michigan beer labels that were approved by the TTB this week. I have to give my mandatory disclaimer that these are only approvals, so it may be a while before you see these on your beer shelves, at your local shelves, but we're going to be peering into the crystal ball, looking into it. You know the drill. I've got a very, very short list this week, and all the names are stuff that you probably already know. So first up, this is probably the biggest surprise. For all you red IPA fans, Founders has a new variation on their all-day IPA series. This time around, it's Founders All-Day Crimson Sky. All-Day Crimson Sky is a sessionable red IPA at 4.7% ABV. Founders also has a new label for their Unraveled IPA, not only for cans, but for bottles. Founders has a really good success with series. They have the Barrel Age series. You probably heard of that one. So they're starting with a new series. It's called the Venture series, and it starts with Unraveled, this premium juicy IPA. Bell's has a new label for one of our old favorites. First up is Two Hearted. The new label will now list the ABV right under the fish, right on the label. It's still 7% ABV. It hasn't changed at all, but now it'll be a little bit more front and center. And last but not least, Upper Hand has a slightly new label for the Upper Hand IPA. I'm looking at the label. The can appears that it's really only a subtle change, maybe some different colors on the text. The only thing I have to go by is my old review because I did Upper Hands IPA in the past. So, although from what I can tell, it appears that they have now just added latitude and longitude on both sides of the can. And I think that the Drink Up slogan is new now on the label as well. We're going to move on to events and Oktoberfest Corner. In Oktoberfest news, things are really winding down. There's only one event. There's really only one event overall that I've been able to find that's really anything that people watching this would be into. Dearborn Brewing in Dearborn, of all places, is holding their Oktoberfest this Saturday. It's called Oktoberfest on the Patio. It starts at 3 p.m. on Saturday the 8th. They're going to have a stein holding contest. It starts at 6 p.m. If you want to do that, you'll have to get there at 5 to register. And now on to the question of the week, random question of the week. Why do bifold doors on closets suck so bad? What's a good alternative? What am I doing to destroy these bifold doors? Let me know in the comments down below or hit me up at drafttherapy@gmail.com. And that's it for me this week. If you've enjoyed this Michigan Beer News Blast, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't. And if you got one of those friends that just told you, hey, guess what? Bell's got sold. Point them in the direction of this video. Tell them to get some updated information. Watch these videos. I'll give it to them. I'll give you all the updated information you can handle. Also, let me know in the comments down below what kind of news you want to see from these videos going forward. Obviously, this video series, I think this is like the 3rd or 4th one I've done now. I'm not very far into it. Still in its infancy. Still a lot of moving pieces, getting pieces put into place. Oktoberfest, it seems like those are drying up, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of events if I'm not able to find more. And if you know of any, let me know. Your feedback is going to determine what changes there will be in the future. Again, if you have a hot tip, if you have an event coming up, maybe a release that you want to share, you want me to share with the audience, hit me up at drafttherapy@gmail.com or in the comments down below. So until next time, I'm Sean signing off from Draft Therapy. Thanks for watching. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries because of that CO2 shortage and the other shortages, the distributor surplus that's going on. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Cheers.